Hey there folks, Bobby McDaniel here and welcome to the Toyverse Network. Today we have a special on the biggest toy fads of the 1980s. Get ready to relive the magic with the hottest, coolest, and most outrageous toys that defined the generation. Let's dive right in. First up, we've got the one and only Rubik's Cube, originally invented by Erno Rubik and dubbed the Magic Cube in 1974. It was later rebranded and released into stores in 1980. This little cube of wonder took the world by storm in the 80s. Over 100 million Rubik's Cubes were sold by 1982. Can you believe that? It's the ultimate brain teaser. Just $1.99 back in the day and it made you feel like a genius. Check it out. Twist, turn, solve. Next, the adorable, the lovable Cabbage Patch Kids, created by Xavier Roberts and mass-produced by Coleco. These dolls were the must-have toys of the 80s. In 1983 alone, 3 million Cabbage Patch Kids found their forever homes, generating over $2 billion in retail sales. Parents lined up for hours. Some even fought for them, all for around $30. Look at this cutie! Who wouldn't want one? Transformers Robots in Disguise. Launched by Hasbro in 1984, these action figures could morph from robots to vehicles and back. With a hit TV series and comic books, Transformers generated over $1 billion in revenue by 1987. Also, due to its affordable price point of $30 to $40, talk about a game changer. Just look at that! From a car to a robot in seconds. Bam! By the power of Grayskull, He-Man and the Masters of the Universe hit the shelves in 1982, thanks to Mattel. With a wildly popular TV show, this franchise earned $400 million in 1986 alone. At around $10 per figure, kids everywhere shouted, "I have the power!" Get your He-Man today and become the master of your universe. Last but definitely not least, the Nintendo Entertainment System, or NES, released in North America in 1985 for $149.99. This bad boy revitalized the entire video game industry. Classics like Super Mario Bros. And The Legend of Zelda became household names. The NES sold over 60 million units worldwide. That's right, 60 million. It's the ultimate gaming console of the decade. And for all you gamers on the go, we've got the incredible Game Boy for the low price of $89.99. Launched by Nintendo in 1989, this portable gaming device changed the game forever. With over 118 million units sold, it brought us classics like Tetris and Super Mario Land. Just imagine, gaming anywhere, anytime. The Game Boy is a must-have for any true gamer.
Good evening and welcome to ENN. Tonight we look back at the defining moments of the 1980s, a decade marked by significant events that changed the course of history. Here are the headlines that shaped this remarkable era. In November 1980, Ronald Reagan was elected as the 40th President of the United States, defeating Jimmy Carter. Reagan's conservative policies and charismatic personality marked a significant shift in American politics. His presidency from 1981 to 1989 brought major economic changes including tax cuts and increased defense spending. Reagan's election was a turning point in the conservative movement, reshaping the political landscape. On March 30, 1981, President Reagan survived an assassination attempt by John Hinckley Jr. outside the Washington Hilton Hotel. Reagan's quick recovery and return to office bolstered his popularity and demonstrated his resilience. Tragedy struck on January 28, 1986, when the Space Shuttle Challenger exploded 73 seconds after liftoff, killing all 7 crew members, including teacher Krista McAuliffe. This disaster was a major setback for NASA and led to a re-evaluation of the space program's safety protocols and a temporary halt in NASA's shuttle program. Ronald Reagan addresses the tragedy, famously stating, "The future does not belong to the faint-hearted, it belongs to the brave." One of the major political scandals of the 1980s was the Iran-Contra affair, which came to light in 1986. During Reagan's second term, it was revealed that senior officials secretly facilitated the sales of arms to Iran, which was then embroiled in the Iran-Iraq War, and used the proceeds to fund Contra rebels in Nicaragua. This scandal led to multiple investigations and damaged the Reagan administration's credibility. On January 9, 1989, the Berlin Wall fell, symbolizing the end of the Cold War and the beginning of German reunification. This historic event marked the collapse of the communist control in Eastern Europe and paved the way for greater political and economic freedom. President George H.W. Bush played a significant role during this period by supporting the reunification of Germany and working closely with Soviet leader Mikhail Gorbachev to ensure a peaceful transition. Bush strongly focused on continuing relationships with the Soviet Union. The 1980s saw a surge in Colombian drug cartels, like the Medellin and Cali cartels, flooding cities with crack cocaine. This led to the crack epidemic, characterized by its cheap prices and high addiction rates. In response, the Reagan administration, with the DEA, convicted over 10,000 drug criminals and seized $250 million in assets by 1986. This intensified Reagan's war on drugs, which started in 1982 and led to the Anti-Drug Abuse Act of 1986 to combat drug abuse. Stay tuned with ENN for more in-depth coverage on the fantastical decade that was the 80s.